Asgas.
Yep.
Asgas and Asp. Turns out if you just put Az at the start, it's just a stupid name.
When it's you and Flowers, it's Azers.
Nah, that one doesn't work.
No?
No.
Nah, it's actually not nearly as funny.
No, it's not that funny.
Flowale. That's kind of funny.
Flowale. Why do we cut Captain out?
Oh, you think we should include that?
I mean, that's the first part of his name.
True, but everyone just calls him
You know
Flowers mostly.
We're gonna workshop this.
Okay, we'll figure it out. He's not even here.
This.
We'll let him join in the conversation.
Yeah.
Point is, we got Asgas right now, and point is,
speak for yourself,
we got
buddy.
on the board.
I don't have any of that.
Look, I got a
Maybe
condition.
you should move
okay?
a little further away from me on the couch if you have that.
I gotta go see a specialist.
Sentinels sounds like a medical problem.
Got a game #1, baby. They're not gas.
No, none of that.
Or they're all gas. Sometimes gas is good, sometimes it's bad. Depends on the context.
Gas, no brakes.
Well, there were a couple of breaks in the early game of that
were.
game #1. They actually did lose the early game, but they were able to bring it back with Dragon stacking and some clutch Visions plays. Now we got Pantheon locked in.
Talija. Where are we coming? Are we going to get, Xin Zhao, the jungler that everyone picks. All right. I'm assuming we just get Taliyah and then we probably match bot, unless there's like a blind top that Impact really wants to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is pretty good. I mean, I was excited when we got Taliyah Vi last game, though, last series, I should say, and that one did not work out for us. But HamBak played a good game, I think. I think the early games, though, pretty shaky from the NA teams, both series.
Yep.
I mean, C9 has
not won an early
games. Yeah. And this one was tough last game, too.
But if any jungler can do it and can answer the Xin Zhao, I like that something like a Pantheon. I feel like he's so powerful and oppressive if you're able to counter gank something like a Xin Zhao or even find your own gank.
Yeah.
If you get push in any wave, you can also win those scuttle contests.
I mean, Pantheon I think is just generically really strong, right? You have it's one of the champions that I think it's pretty unique that you can threaten level 3s really, really effectively. You can win early duels. You can power farm to 6.
It's almost impossible to outsmite fight you.
And all of those strategies are all effective. Yeah. You're super powerful early game, but yet you don't really fall off late game because of the Aegis Assault, right? Like the fact that you just block damage directionally allows you to scale in a way similar to Xin Zhao with Crescent Guard. So I think he is kind of unique in that way. I am expecting Taliyah to get banned out. They're going to ban Renekton, which is obviously another great Pantheon pairing. I'm still expecting the Taliyah ban. If you don't ban Taliyah or you're not going to pick Taliyah away or something, then I feel like for Sentinels, they have to be a little bit suspicious because I feel like you are kind of laying a trap at that point where you're saying, okay, we know you're going to go that, and we're going to have something ready for it. The question would be, what would you go for? Because generally, you would think of us on these aggressive matchups. Obviously, the One's already gone, the Akali's gone, the Ahri's gone, so they're taking away a lot of these champions that could potentially threaten the Taliyah.
Yeah, and you already banned the Orianna from Red's side, so maybe they take it themselves. No, they're going to save counterpick for Kaze. Kaze loves those melee champions. I don't know how many are left. Like Silas doesn't feel like it would be crazy here.
No, not into Taliyah. I mean, that's the thing. You can do some of the more just kind of like long range champions into it. Some people in solo queue will play things like Xerath and Vel'Koz and like just kind of outrange you and poke you, but I'm not really expecting that. I think at this point we're just going to get something standard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kaze play like Victor or something boring like that as an answer, and just kind of try to lock Taliyah in lane. I mean, let's be honest, it's Victor, buddy.
You don't think it's a high action mid lane matchup?
No, it's not a high octane matchup.
You haven't seen my Victor then, let me tell you. If I'm not DPing level 2, I'm doing my lane wrong.
It's high action for the minions. Let's put it that way.
True. There's gonna be
They're
so
fighting
many
for their
minions
lives out there, but no one cares. No one cares about the insignificant lives of the minions.
I care for
LeBlanc, okay, that's spicy.
Main.
So that's a cool pick. Going to be bringing that out.
Oh, that is actually pretty spicy.
It's not the best setup, right? Like there's not any like crazy setup for him. You don't have any CC coming out of the jungle, but obviously you could try to go forward. You're distorting in, you're trying to land the chains, and then you set that up for the wind becomes lightning. Xin follows in. Your 2v2 is going to be pretty strong for sure. But that's a pretty spicy counter pick. Impact going to be able to get Kennen. I would honestly be super down for Ignite Kennen. I don't know if he's going to go that hard, but I do think combat summoners are super underutilized still in pro play and top lane. I've been talking about that since before the season started. I really felt like with the home guard changes and with the role quest giving you free TP, that combat summoners should become the evolution. We got to see that sometimes, like with ranged top laners, you get to see that. Obviously with Dokla, who's playing, Barrier Varus, and he's playing Ghost Vayne. That worked really, really well in the LCS playoffs. We have seen Photon bring out Ignite Kennen.
is very popular in the LEC as well as the top lane. Specifically into Renekton, that was like the most popular. But I imagine it's similar into the Ambessa. It's just maybe a little easier for the Ambessa to get on top of you. Even then, I think it's probably about the same.
I think it's pretty similar, yeah. I mean, Ambessa has a lot of mobility, sustained mobility, you know, compared to the Renekton, so you definitely do have more mobility. And you have the ultimate, obviously, to close the gap there as well, so I agree with you. It is easier to close the gap, but it's the same principle, right? You are a range versus melee matchup. You are trying to poke down and harass and be able to threaten all ins. If you can keep the melee champion low, I mean, the recourse for melee champions in melee versus range is to threaten all-in. And if you're low health and you're pinned under your tower, it's very hard to do that. And if they have Ignite, it's very hard to win the all-in. So that's why I think that can be quite strong. I don't know if Impact is the guy to go for it, but we have seen Photon do it. We've seen Flandra play Ignite Rumble in the LPL. There's top laners that are obviously down.
Yeah, eyes will be on top lane from Sentinels POV, but from Red's POV, it's Kaze's world, and we're just living in it. This guy's champ pool, this guy's play style is the defining style of Red Canids Kalunga. He gets a LeBlanc, something I've not seen in quite a while. We'll have to see how it plays into the Talia, but either way, I think we're in for a show.
Do you think that's some guy's head that's buried, or is it just rocks that look like a head?
Oh, I think it's like an ancient, you know, pillar or like statue that's
like, is he alive and he's just stuck
buried
there?
I think Talia probably had something to do with it.
Kaze level 1. This is actually spicy. He's probably going to distort and just try to get a big chunk.
I mean, they actually go for the chains first. That's flash out of huhi to start off laning phase.
And he used the Ignite bot lane as well. So that is actually super spicy. I kind of love it. I mean, it is going to be a lot worse for his 1v1. DARKWINGS should be sitting here and trying to zone him with a threaded volley.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the recourse. You're trying to keep him away to see if you can make him miss XP. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But that was great. I mean, he goes down. I thought it was just going to be distort forward, get a little bit chunk, but he uses the Ignite. He gets both summons off huhi, and now you've relieved pressure in what should be a winning 2v2 for Sentinels. So I think that's actually really, really clever. Yeah, you hurt your lane some, but honestly, who cares? Because you have Lulu and Yunara down on the bot side that are supposed to be getting bullied by Corki and Nami, and now it's really, really scary. And if you start pushing and you win the 2v2, well, Curse could show up and you could die, just like last game.
Yeah, and we saw them do that last game as the Ezreal Karma. Corki, Nami potentially able to get that priority as well. But right now it's Rabelo and Frosty with the lane shoving in instead, who he is playing very far back. And as we come back to top lane, half health bar for FNB. I think that we're going to see a lot of that with this ranged matchup advantage.
That is definitely the hope. Impact is not going super spicy. He's not going to be playing the Ignite. He is playing just TP, some more standard. Obviously, it's still a trade-off. It's not like just purely good because your TP cooldown is a lot longer and you don't get the TP shield, which is quite valuable on team fighting top laners because obviously you're TPing in, it lasts 30 seconds, but if you get that flanking TP in the midst of the whole team, you have basically this like fat steric shield for free, right?
Yeah.
So
and if Ambessa doesn't have specifically ult, there's no CC to stop you in the kit there. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes up there to see how it keeps going for FNB, but the bot lane's still shoved in. Top lane shoved in for Sentinels as junglers are pathing towards the bottom half together. FNB is going to be all alone up here for a little while longer.
Yeah, it's also going to be solo AP for LeBlanc, which is always what you want when you are playing, you know, these AP assassins. You want to have all of their AD threats so that you can't get a lot of value out of, you know, going early MR. Otherwise, people are just going to rush early Merc Treads in the matchup or go Maw or go for a barrier, whatever. Just kind of some of this defensive stuff that can shut down a lot of the pressure that you're trying to go for here. As FNB taking the bad end of that trade, kind of how it's going to be in these types of matchups. You just use the Ambessa W to try to absorb as much damage as possible. And you have to be really careful about what minions you fight for. You have to just choose, all right, what ones am I actually going to give up? What ones am I going to fight for? Because sometimes even if you get the minions, you give up too much health, which is going to cost, you know, more loss later.
Yeah, and 19 deficit already. Misses that one's going to miss another melee. There's
Shouldn't
one.
Be this bad.
So 1 out of 3 melees picked up. Yeah, FNB is struggling in that top lane to pick up any amount of CS.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be going that bad. I mean, it's going really, really bad for FNB. And I think that is one of the things where if you're not comfortable in a matchup and you make a mistake, you start taking too much damage. And if you're not actually ever trading back, then Impact's never going to have to get very scared. Nice gank.
Yeah, huhi just walks up to the mid lane. We've seen Namis do this a lot, actually, this year, where you just come in for one little quick roam, throw out a W, heal up your mid laner, and get some poke on the enemy.
I got scared because I saw Curse. The mid lane, the GOAT, the early game GOAT.
Well, we did learn, I don't know how much you were listening to me and Kobe, that Curse is less of a...
I'm always listening.
You're always listening?
Always.
Noted.
Not watching, though, because I'm not creepy like that. Just listening.
Curse is arguably less intimidating than Doom, right? Like, wouldn't you rather be cursed than doomed?
Well, it depends what the curse is.
But a curse implies you can, like, uncurse it, right? Like, a curse is usually
a reversible it's an undispellable curse that dooms your entire bloodline to poverty and famine.
Find a higher level wizard. I don't know. Just find somebody to help you. Or cleric. I'm trying to think what class uncurses.
I feel like Doom sounds more finite, so maybe it's like, at least if you're doomed, it's over quick. Like the C9 series.
C9 was, they were pretty doomed.
They were doomed.
True.
But they didn't have to suffer because they weren't cursed.
Yeah. Also, HamBak right now flashing away from Curse. As that was a flash follow-up from the Xinjiao. Now Frosty roaming up here as well. DARKWINGS pretty low on mana here, but they find big damage onto Curse. He's got Kaze over the wall, still alive for right now. Aegis Assault to keep HamBak safe. And his first blood to HamBak, plus Impact walking all the way down. Slicey Maelstrom flash from DARKWINGS. Couple autos. The shield on Kaze will not keep him alive. That's 2 on the board for Sentinels.
Damn, that was a super good roam from Impact, actually.
Yeah.
That was really, really, really good. He did not TP there. He walked there knowing that the fight could be breaking out. So yeah, you relieve a little bit of pressure for FMB, but this is not a matchup where you just keep bullying the side lane for the whole game, right? It's a matchup where you bully early, you get your items, and then you're transferring that into a team fight anyway. So I love this from Impact. He holds his TP, walks to the fight, gets a good ulti down. They win that fight. They're now 2.3k up, and he TP's back top, still up 17 CS.
Yeah.
So this is a sick game from Impact. After last one, he was getting picked on a little bit early, was kind of in some bad spots, honestly, and died a few times when he shouldn't have. This is a brilliant start.
I think he heard you talking smack about not taking Ignite. He was like, no, let me show you how to maximize the TP. Let's get another look at that. Because yeah, he walks from base now. Like, they can tell we have a support in the jungle here contesting.
Exactly, because they weren't doomed. They were only cursed.
True. They were able to reverse it.
But that was a really good Aegis Assault from HamBak. He held that a long time and waited until the LeBlanc came over the wall. If he just wastes that early, I think it's a very, very different fight. The timing was great. Sentinels, not only did Impact roam really fast, but their bot lane roam really, really fast. So well played by Sentinels. They will lose the dragon, but not a big deal.
HamBak's in the top jungle, just taking away a red buff. Might be able to look for more, but at least it's a buff for the dragon.
Yeah.
As it's also a gold lead for Sentinels. This is the first early game that they've won. FMB is going to check it. We'll see, but will not be able to stop.
I don't know. He has no flash, so I would be ulting out of there if I was HamBak.
Yeah, and now he's in some trouble. Has the Weaver's Wall back up from DARKWINGS. Still Aegis Assault used. Public Execution to lock him down. Aegis Assault absorbs all the damage. It is a trade of kills 1-for-1 as the junglers go down. Impact flashing forward with the Slicey Maelstrom, and Frosty will fall. That is 2-for-1 trade in favor of Sentinels.
Okay, okay, nicely done. I definitely thought the HamBak was gonna get into too bad of a spot. I thought he was just gonna walk into the brush and just ult out.
Yeah.
Because he had no flash, there was no blast cone, and you see the Kaze's moving. But they were confident that they would win the fight, and at the end of the day, it goes pretty well for them. And Rahel here has push on bot side, so he's farming plates. DARKWINGS is doing really, really well, picked up a null, so Kaze at this point is pretty far behind. He's already down 1k.
You know why he didn't ult out? He's playing Pantheon, the aspect of war. He's here to fight, man. He's got the backup of DARKWINGS, and who he was already running up the whole time.
Yep, they were still in this, 4v3 initially, but again, HamBak buys a lot of time, and then Impact arrives, and this is when Red realized, all right, time to run. The early Kennen ults have been fantastic. Impact, I think, really making a big difference in this one.
Insane difference. He doesn't have a kill yet, but both of the times he's shown up, both the times he's pressed R, it has been, fight-winning, play-defining. And he's still smashing the CS in this top lane, because that was FNB leaving a full wave that got shoved under turret to kind of wrap around and help out Curse for that play. So he got Giga punished. Curse is still getting punished here as HamBak is invading, taking another buff away. That's red into blue buff steals.
That is pretty rough. When you are playing LeBlanc from behind, it is very, very difficult. You also have to be so careful about how you're playing LeBlanc in a game like this, because there is so much CC for you. When you distort forward, if DARKWINGS sees you coming and just throws down the Unraveled Earth, you're distorting into that, you're getting stunned, then there's point-and-click CC, obviously, from the Pantheon. There's the AoE stuns coming through from Kennen. There's Tidal Wave, there's Bubble, there's all of these things.
Bubby.
You're a Bubby?
It's your Nami Bubble. It's the Bubby.
There's like some e-dating bot lane stuff going down. You're like, I always call my Nami Bubby.
We got our Bubby and our Cubby, the quirky Cubby.
Is Cubby your Bubby?
Yeah, Cubby's my Bubby.
Okay.
Shout out Cubby right there.
Get you an E-Kitten support like Cubby.
He does not want me to support him, though. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
That's why he's the Bubby.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah.
He's the support.
Oh. I feel so much better about this series than last series, man. I don't know if it's noticeable for the people at home, but I feel like his spirits are a little higher right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting absolutely pounded versus winning a game.
That's not the type of bot lane duo that I like usually.
Okay. But it is unfortunately the type of bot lane duo that you're usually in.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to leave that one there.
Don't go too far. Don't go too far. You're approaching the line. It's in the danger zone.
I don't want to get a talkie to. I was able to get away with some stuff earlier in game 1, you know.
Our manager has informed us that she is listening to the cast.
Yes, yeah. I have heard.
Yeah.
I have heard.
Yeah.
Impact right now has now received the word that he is not alone in the top lane. As the public execution will come out, but Slicing Maelstrom for the stun. FNB goes under turret, will secure the kill.
Good kill there. Nice lane gank from Curse. Impact does just get burst down. He doesn't have flash, so not really able to escape. And DARKWINGS will have to go up towards top side, just try to protect the tower. And that's 2 kills now for FNB. So despite the fact that Impact did really, really well in the 1v1, that roam where, yeah, FNB lost some CS, but he was the one who picked up the kill on HamBak, I believe. Now he gets another kill there. So he's in a great spot now for that 1v1. Eclipse is done, and Bessa is pretty much just a totally different champion once Eclipse is done. It becomes really, really hard to trade with, but Impact's still doing well.
It's down in CS, but the 2 kills mean FNB is the only member that, surprisingly, has a tiny gold lead. 67 gold. It's going to go away in a minute. But he is the only one that has one right now, as DARKWINGS is kind of the biggest lead for Sentinels here in their 2.5 team gold lead.
Yep. Well, looking good. Rahel just continuing to push up here. Is going to be on the Triforce soon, and that's when they are going to be really, really strong. Mandate's been done for huhi, so that's when you can really start to kind of flex on the Corki. Once you have that item done, you get the E from the Nami and just kind of walk forward and just start trading with people and trying to basically dare them to engage on you, because there's not very good snap engage whatsoever on red.
Kaze distorts forward, and will jump back away with the ultimate, but takes a good chunk of damage right there as Dragon has just spawned. So red, they have their bot lane shoving in on them, their mid laner just got chunked. It seems like a good time for Sentinels to start up Dragon.
Yep, I think this should be pretty free, honestly. Curse still doesn't have Crescent Guard. Kaze just got chunked. I would be pretty surprised. I mean, maybe if Sentinels oversteps and they can get a pick, then they'd go for it. But otherwise, I think you have no business going over there at all. FNB also has no ult, even if you want to TP in. So should be a freebie. And it is going to be Hex Tech, which is really, really nice. I think that red is probably going to be happy at least that it's not Mountain Soul, because that one is pretty terrifying when you are playing these sort of kind of aggressive dive comps.
Yeah, LeBlanc into Mountain Soul sounds like a nightmare. You're just never going to kill anybody right now. And Kaze has yet to really find a big play. Like, that level 1 was cute, using the chains to like blow the flash, blow the heal, but we haven't really seen much else out of the LeBlanc since then.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was more of a knock-on effect than I expected. You know, I kind of, obviously when you level chains level 1 and you start down bot and you use your Ignite, you're going to be seeding the first couple levels. Yeah. And so DARKWINGS just used that to get pushed and then took a really early base for tier. And once you're on tier, it becomes very hard as FNB.
Slicing Maelstrom from Impact onto FNB in the 1v1, but here comes the Grand Starfall from HamBak. FNB has public execution, won't even use it. Just accepts his fate, and that's another kill to Sentinels.
I think that's a good call. Just hold on to the ulti. You probably are going to be dead regardless of what happens. I mean, he did get impact low, so maybe there's a slight argument for it, but I think he had used all his other spells, so I think it's very unlikely they would have died with huhi there, and he had summoner heal. So I think probably smart, hold on to that, and then maybe Curse can get a regank, and you try to get a kill that way with your ulti.
But I love that we're seeing now HamBak transition this lead he has in the jungle into global plays with that semi-global ultimate. The Grand Starfall, like, you're basically ganking from your own jungle. It's really hard to spot it out. It's not like a traditional gank where a jungler, oh, you just drop your wards down, you see them coming in. The moment that Impact presses R,
huhi.
They were already in trouble. As huhi now in some trouble, and wow, that was a lot of damage. Kaze doing the burst, but Frosty actually getting the kill.
Well, turns out no matter how behind the LeBlanc is, you can still kill a Nami. Nami's good for
Today
one.
We learned.
She's got your back. I feel like Nami and Zyra are 2 of those champions that you're just like, you're always good for a death or 2.
Yep, no shields.
Yeah, if you're playing an assassin, just go hunt the fish.
Hunt the fish.
Yeah.
And not even playing Pike over here. I think LeBlanc's a good like chef. Is that what somebody who cooks fish? I guess they'd be a cook, right? Is there a special name for people that cook fish? I don't think no.
Like a sushi chef?
Yeah. There we go. We got to get a LeBlanc skin for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one for Akali, I think, right?
I think so, yeah. They had the whole chef skin line. I play Baker Pantheon personally. It's my favorite. But still didn't get the kill credit, which is pretty unfortunate. You want the gold onto the LeBlanc. I mean, it's nice that they got the pick, but still, we're waiting for Kaze to pick up that first kill. Now has an item completed and at least does have 2 stacks on the Dark Steel, so getting some stats there.
Pretty relevant for sure at this point. DARKWINGS could be in trouble.
And not the team around him. Flashes back to safety. Rabelo's going in, gets knocked up by the tidal wave as HamBak jumps straight onto Curse. Again, Aegis the Soul to buy space for him and the rest of the team to come in. Rahel over the wall. Red are trying to escape out of there. And it seems like they will be able to make it out.
Yeah, nicely done. They're going to be able to get out. And that's the flash off DARKWINGS. So even though it looks like Sentinels are winning the fight at the end of the day, they have to get more. So they want to keep pushing, try to farm some plates here. They'll at least be able to get probably 2 plates. And Curse did get his base stopped a couple times.
Another rocket from Rahel.
Oh, Impact is behind FMB. He just TP'd bot. They're going to look for a fight.
Ooh, Slicing Maelstrom immediately onto the Mbessa. Flash is available. Flash to the wall. Impact, flash, follow. Lands a lightning shuriken. As the rest of the Sentinels now spring the trap. They were not ready to actually collapse in time. Impact still chasing it down, but now the Lulu shields will keep him alive. But Rabelo no longer has the Lulu behind him, so Rahel finds a window.
You got Rabelo, but we got Rahelo.
Yeah. Get the Rahelo out of here. More like it. We're trying new material over here, man.
You know, trying being the operative word.
It's a half success in my book. You know, it's better than my average.
Yeah.
As Impact to get the shove in the bot wave. But hey, I mean, we see how much time Frosty's trying to spend keeping the team alive, and you can't be everywhere at once. I like the Sentinels are keeping the pressure on.
True.
Almost getting that bot turret, not quite.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm Impact on that TP, I mean, I kind of want to see it again if we watch the replay to watch what his team is doing, because it does feel like Sentinels were not really responding. They were kind of just skirmishing mid. Impact had FMB running all the way across the map. You were mid lane and no one could move? Like, no one could move to cut him off? I thought that would be a freebie, even if Impact can't kill him. So
are we going to get a replay? Oh, this is after already.
It's already after, but we can see Rabelo just stepped way too far forward.
And everything lands from Rahel. That was, what, 2-3 rockets plus the phosphorus bomb? That was beautiful.
Good counting.
Yeah. Well, I also said 2-3, so I don't even know how many it was, but thank you. I'll take it. That was 1. That was 2. Rahel doing massive damage, but now he gets engaged on. The Grand Starfall is in, but Rahel's already down. Traded right on back as HamBak will pick one up. Flash with the Q to get a double kill. Straight onto Rabelo. Jumps over the wall, but follow up with the shield vault and a triple to HamBak.
HamBak, good American boy right there. That's what we like to see. Representing American pride.
Let's go. That's the LCS, baby.
Yeah, that's the LCS right there.
Those.
Let's go, HamBak. 5K. This one's wraps.
Yeah, 5-1 on the Pantheon. HamBak with that huge influx of gold right there, and now another dragon to their name. I mean, this, again, I think needed for the morale of the LCS. Maybe we're calling it too soon. I don't want to curse them too much here.
I just appreciate that C9 lost so we could have more interregional matches.
True.
That is very thoughtful of them. Thinking ahead, knowing that Sentinels were, of course, going to win. Who wants to watch LCS versus LCS? We see that all the time. So, C9, being the good Samaritans that they are, viciously ran it down in their series to set up for more LCS versus CV LOL.
Yeah. And this is also the first time we've won an early game, because if we're being honest, I was still worried about that last game. The game number 1 between Red and Sentinels was not going our way early, but man, we've got the lead now, and Rahel's doing insane damage.
I think Rahel just got crazy dopamine rush from hitting that rocket through. Oh!
Go in!
Must click forward!
I got an Navi behind me. There's no way they'll kill me. There's no way Impact goes down. Oh, it's actually FNB. It's huhi backing up Impact. So FNB's in a 1v2 situation, and Impact just autos him down. Not a great day to be an Mbessa.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, he basically clicked melee range of the Zin's how it felt like. I don't even think Zin had the W. He just eat on him. So
I don't even think it was the second rocket. I think it was the first rocket.
The first rocket hit. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got that mandate triple rocket. You're like, I just dealt 3,000 damage.
Crazy.
My DPM is about to go crazy when Leo the stats guy tweets this out.
Yep.
He's already seeing the tweet, Rahel, 2,000 DPM in victory over Red.
We got to stop plugging Leo, though. He already got 1,000 followers on Twitter, so now it's
well,
gone
we can get him under. That's no problem. We can unfollow him really quick.
We can unfollow Leo. Yeah. As DARKWINGS alone in the top lane right now, this is what you want from the LeBlanc. Quick, fast plays, but HamBak gets in range. Huhi as well, so it's a shutdown picked up, but it's traded as Curse will fall as well. HamBak on a rampage, and 11-5 on the scoreboard.
Yep, DARKWINGS does die, but it takes him long enough to kill him that Sentinels respond. They have Herald. HamBak's going to be able to stop the base there from Kaze.
Yeah, he's really feeling it right now. He's got Huhi behind him to keep him alive, and the Herald will charge in, getting the 3rd turret for Sentinels.
And look at Rahel. Rahel is just pushing mid, so Sentinels have to be careful that they don't go too crazy. FNB does have TP, so they could look for a TP play. I mean, this is a risky Herald to crash in, I'm not going to lie.
And it's stopped before it lands. That's flash out from Impact, and now Rabelo pops the ultimate. Transcends oneself, flashes over the tidal wave. Damage on HamBak. Aegis Assault will keep him alive for now. No ward into the Tribe Rush, and the bubble lane has HamBak! Dangles his bait! And they're eating good today.
That's a
take
tilter.
Down Rabelo.
That is such a tilter. You're like, I must get this shut down. That would have been like a 1K or at least 900 gold. So that would have been a fatty shutdown for Rabelo. So not going to blame you going for that. But yeah, you go in, you don't have vision, and you get stunned up into the bubble. That's brutal.
At this point in the game, it's so far out of control. I got to respect Rabelo for looking for this. It's Impact that gives them the angle, though.
Yeah, it was getting out of control. So Impact's like, you know what? Let's keep it interesting.
We're
going to ride this 1,500 HP Herald into the midst of their whole team with my AD carry pushing mid lane. And HamBak on vision, smart play. Know if you try to just run away, you're going to get chased down eventually. So nice turn there from Sentinels. They keep HamBak alive. You got to protect those bounties because you do not want to give that 1K over to Rabelo.
And now look at this gold lead, 7K was the top, it looks like right there. Now dropped back down to 6.3, but still gold advantage to Sentinels as the next dragon's up in a minute and a half. It's FNB. Caught on the wrong side of the Weaver's wall, so will commit the flash. No flash on Abessa if they want to contest this 3rd dragon from Sentinels.
No flash for him. No flash on Rabelo as well. I feel like it's pretty uncontestable, to be honest. I mean, when you're already getting slammed in a game like this, I feel like you're just praying that you can scale and they make mistakes later. So to me, there's no way I'm leaving my base for anything less than Baron, I think, or Soul at this point. But we'll see if they decide to contest. I just think if you show up, there's such a high chance of Rabelo getting flashed on and just like flash stun, seismic shove, one shot. I think it is going to be very, very tough to avoid that. So I would be hiding in my base and praying you can farm it up. Just play side lanes and try to get some gold.
If Kaze can get this top turret, that feels pretty nice. I mean, objective bounties, I believe, are up right now, so extra influx of gold into the LeBlanc. But it's time to start thinking about it because I feel like this game is so favored for Sentinels. Who would be your front runner for player of the game here? For me, it's Impact or HamBak, because Impact had those insane high impact plays, roaming all the way from base to the bot side TPing to save his CS advantage still. But HamBak's also had a hell of a game.
Yeah, HamBak's had an incredible game. I do think Impact is a good shout because those first 2 roams, I think, really were what kind of started the snowball. Games like this are always interesting because it's always, you're kind of in 1 and 2 camps. You're in the guy who got the person ahead is the one who deserves it, and I feel like Impact is kind of ironically the one who got the jungler ahead, or you're in the guy who did the most with the lead. It's kind of like when you have a 10-0-80 carry, but they got ganked 4 times at the start of the game. Do you give it to the 80 carry, or do you give it to the jungler who got him fed?
And also, Impact did ride the Herald into that top turret, so how much does that take away from his legacy?
He did try to kill HamBak. He just didn't succeed.
Yeah, he's like, HamBak's too far ahead. He's going to win player of the game from me.
But for the other team. So really, that should count in his call. That's action.
3rd dragon secured here for Sentinels now, not even contested. Like, Red, to your point, they're not even leaving their base. They're just catching these waves as safely as they can because it's so low chance of them actually winning a fight at this point.
But you do have to at least maintain some vision around Baron. Huhi missed that ward. He didn't actually walk over it. So you have to get a little bit clever with where you place your wards. Generally, if you're really behind, you don't want to place your wards in the Baron pit.
HamBak jumps in. I mean, he's got FNB right behind him. In goes Curse with the Crescent Guard. It's only HamBak that can do damage, but he's doing a lot right now as Impact flies in as well. Slicey Maelstrom to follow up. And now DARKWINGS with a Weaver's Wall, cutting off the retreat path. Kaze flashes, barely lives. but Sentinels find 3.
Yeah, Sentinels find 3, and then they are just pushing on the base. They're going to get at least an inhib here and even more gold.
I mean, they have TP on impact. I think low odds that they actually push for the end here. The death timers aren't quite long enough, 20 seconds, and they don't have a big wave, but they can at least break the base. They're TP and impact bot lane here, so they're going to shove in another wave and look to take 2 inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, they're just getting so far ahead. I mean, now you're already on soul point, you're AK up, you're pushing everywhere across the map here, and it just doesn't feel like Red have an answer. I think they got a little bit antsy. You knew they weren't on Baron though, so I just don't think that they need to be walking that far up. I think it's one of these situations where when you're this far down, you really have to wait until they are committed to Baron or committed to something where you can have even a chance. Obviously, it's always going to be really, really difficult because Sentinels are going to seek out vision, and then you're trying to face check into a team where you don't even know where the cannon is, right? The cannon's going to be on flank, so I just think Red went a little bit too fast there, and Curse pays the price at the end of the day.
You see Rahel leading the damage charts right now. Oh, that was just last fight damage, but still, the Corki doing his job. And DARKWINGS, those are rookie numbers, man. We got to pump those up.
Yeah, wasn't as involved in that one.
Yeah.
You can see huhi's even going pretty tanky here with his build. So just realizing, you know what, we're so far ahead. The only way I lose is if I'm just getting chain one shot. So is going towards a more tanky build. And it's basically like, all right, I don't want to get one shot by Kaze. I'm one of the only people that are vulnerable at this point.
Kaze only has 2.5 items completed. And is also going a little defensive here, picking up the spell shield as opposed to just pure raw damage. So,
yep. Which I honestly am never a fan of when you're behind. When you're behind, I think you need to build pure damage and just hope that you one-shot someone.
Yeah.
You're not going to win a sustained fight anyway, right? So I get it though. There's so much point-and-click CC that it's very, very difficult. So he's like, I need verdant barrier to try to absorb something. But I feel like you have a better chance of just going death cap or whatever and trying to one-shot someone and hope that works for you. But Sentinels not going to wait for that. They are going to be starting this up, and they're going to get the TP out of F&B.
Yeah, and Best is going to teleport in. It's going to be front to back with Red approaching from the bottom of the river. Kaze jumps in. We'll see DARKWINGS right there. Stop the Weaver's wall. Slicing Maelstrom. Flash forward from Impact. As he's actually going into the stasis. He should be traded for FNB. 1-for-1, but now in comes the Grand Starfall. HamBak gets out of the back line. That's 2 more kills picked up for Sentinels with Rahel unleashed. And a double kill to the Corki. Sentinels win a team fight, and Sentinels are going to 2-0 this series.
Let's go. LCS back on top. Back in the middle.
Back in the conversation,
back
baby.
Somewhere in competition.
They are still in the upper bracket. So
we are.
Call the upper bracket the top.
We've won 100% of the last series so far at America's Cup.
Sentinels have won 100% of their games in America's Cup. As Kaze will try his best to clear the way, but an ace for Sentinels. And a much-needed 2-0 for the morale of the LCS. But a split on the day. CBLOL and LCS are tied in the America's Cup.
Yeah, it's going to make it exciting. We're going to keep getting LCS versus CBLOL in the upper bracket, in the lower bracket. Everything from here on out is going to be best of 5. And hopefully everyone will get rested up for their games tomorrow.
Yep.
Because they're going to be coming right back to it. But it does mean we're going to have Red versus C9 in the lower bracket. We'll have Sentinels versus Furia in the upper bracket. Furia looked really, really good. So, you know, jet lag or not, excuses or not, they played a great series. And we'll see if Sentinels can match up to that, because I think these are clearly the two teams that are looking the best.
Oh, okay. I was watching the form there. I'm not sure who didn't go in the right spot, but they got into correct order eventually. They took their bow. Well done, Sentinels.
Not how you start, it's how you finish.
How you finish, exactly. It's about that photo finish. And what a photo finish right there. Finally, we won an early game as well. I think that's the coolest thing to focus on, because like that was 3 early games lost in a row, even though we won first game in this series.
Yeah, exactly. A great early game this time. So much credit deserved, I think, by Impact for his plays early on. I think that Roam was super, super smart. He had a good timer. He had already pushed in the wave, so he wasn't going to lose too much. Walks down towards that bot side fight, you know, helps get HamBak ahead. But to me, I do think HamBak was the standout in this one. I think overall, you know, he played really, really well with an advantage. Was able to slam that home, and I think it's pretty impressive from him, and definitely a needed win.
I'll align with you. HamBak as the player of the game for me as well. he just was able to use that lead. Yes, it was Impact helping give them that, but HamBak just survived in so many tight scenarios. Like, holding his ground and not ulting out when he went for the invade. They gave up that first dragon, but he gets the buff and then still survives because he knows his team is coming to follow up, and then they get an even bigger lead. Again, because Impact roams down for that one too, but it's still HamBak using that lead that he gets early and then transitioning it into a monster jungle performance.
And I just felt like his Aegis assault timing, his E timing was so good on Pantheon in pretty much every single fight. Like he was always holding it for
the Raptors
for the correct
invade,
moment.
yeah.
Like he was holding it so long in fights, not just panic pressing it early on when he's getting hit. He's actually saving it for the key abilities, for LeBlanc burst, for whatever is actually that big threat that's going to come in. So it's a pretty big difference maker. He played really, really well, and it's just nice to see Sentinels performing. Yeah,
I mean, if you had asked me before, okay, actually, I'm going to get back to that point later because I'm hearing that we were ready for an interview actually with DARKWINGS. So let's start with DARKWINGS. After their win, and a much-needed win for LCS morale. DARKWINGS, Isaac, you did it! Congratulations.
You're representing for Isaacs everywhere.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by Isaacs right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, DARKWINGS, how are you feeling after that win, after that 2-0? Did it go according to plan for the team?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I think overall, yeah, it was according to plan. I thought that we should win, and I think we performed overall okay, like above average today.
How has the travel been for you guys? And were you surprised at all that C9 got kind of smacked around by Furia? I'm not sure if you saw that series.
Yeah, I was watching a bit. I think both us and C9 had like a similar travel schedule, so it was like pretty bad. I think I slept a total of like 4 hours on the flight, and then I mean, we were just traveling for the entire day. But yeah, I slept 12 hours last night, so it was good.
Are you enjoying being in the Brazilian crowd? Because I know when we were there last year for LTA, the fans are pretty insane.
Yeah, I think Brazilian definitely, the fans, they have a lot of hype, especially when the Brazilian teams are doing well. But overall, it's pretty fun.
Now, this has got to be a newer experience for you. How are you just enjoying being at an international event and getting this experience? Because I think that's something that we haven't talked about too much on our end, but I want to hear your thoughts on like this overlap with North American and the South American CBLOL and LCS teams kind of giving this chance to have this little tournament.
I really enjoy like just playing against like, I guess, new opponents because we haven't played them before. I think that in itself is like pretty fun. The only problem is like, I feel like sometimes the setup's a bit different, so I have to like get used to that. I'm already just getting comfortable with the LCS setup, now I have to get comfortable with a different one. But it's chill.
Well, it's awesome to see you grow as a player, and I gotta say, now that you've won 2-0, give the people at home some hope. How are you feeling about your matchup with Furia, which is gonna be your next opponent?
I think Furia looked pretty good, but I do think if we keep bringing our game, we're gonna still win.
Love to hear it. Well, thanks a lot, man. Congratulations, and have a fun time.
All right, thank you.